Grey, 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 that's the punchline people usually give Aberdeen. Pull up any image search and it's the same slab of wet granite under a sky that's forgotten the color blue. But today the forecast might as well say cheat code unlocked. 19 degrees, not a cloud in sight, and the breeze so polite it won't even lift a hair. Locals are texting each other in full caps. You will not believe the day we're getting. Stick around. By the time this little tour ends, you might have to apologize to every postcard that ever lied to you. We slip onto Queen's Road from the West End roundabout and the tires start humming like they know they're on camera. On both sides, granite villas rise, 3-story mini castles with mica that flips from champagne to penny copper as we glide past. You can smell the camellias before you see them, the bushes are that fat with blooms. Someone's left every gate swung open, like the whole neighborhood is having one long open house. Sycamores knit their branches overhead and the air drops a few degrees, summer, but with air conditioning included. Look right, there's the curved bay window locals still call the Teapot Palace. Story goes a tea baron built it after the first Assam shipment hit the docks, and the nickname just stuck. The granite keeps changing its mind, slate grey in the shade, warm honey in the sun. Sunglasses start to feel essential. At the crest, the road throws open a view straight across King's Links to the sea. Cobalt water, sharp as a paper cut, and somewhere above the dunes, skylarks drop notes like they're paid by the trill. We ditch the car under a maple and step onto Thistle Street, so narrow you could high-five both walls at once. House numbers are hand-forged iron, nasturtiums pour out of window boxes in fire engine orange. A cafe door swings wide and the smell of Guatemalan beans, toffee and orange peel, ambushes us. Footsteps are lighter today, sandals and trainers, not the usual Aberdeen stomp of boots built for puddles. Past the florist, sunflowers lean so far out of their buckets they look ready to make a run for it. A sign says help yourself to petal confetti, today only. I grab a fistful, suddenly this walk feels like a parade I didn't know I was leading. Left onto Victoria Street and the stone turns older, darker, threaded with quartz that winks like buried lightning. Ahead, Queen's Cross Church spikes the sky, 150 feet of granite that took 14 months to carve and still manages to blush rose pink when the sun hits it just so. Through the gates the temperature drops, the sycamores are on duty. Crocuses have staged a late uprising on the lawn. A gardener waves her secateurs. Queen Victoria planted that climber, you can. No plaque, but the roses smell like lemon drops, so I'm sold. Inside, the nave soars and the granite feels gentle, almost soft. Pews curl like the sides of an old wooden ship, and Strachan's rose window throws ruby and sapphire puddles across the floor. The organist sneaks in a few bars of bark, the notes swell, linger, then settle like dust motes. I'm not religious, but I could happily file for membership based on acoustics alone. Back out, we drift along Carden Place. Plane trees line up like they're saluting. Sunlight stutters through the leaves and dances on the pavement. On the right, St. Mary's, nicknamed the Tartan Kirky, shows off roof tiles in rust, charcoal, and moss. A chunk of wall still carries pockmarks from a 1943 air raid, repaired so neatly you'd miss it if you blinked. Inside, the altar faces the congregation like a host who insists everyone have seconds. St. Columba glints in sea greens and storm blues from a stained glass window that hides a tiny puffin in one corner. The organ, tuned last week, sounds perky enough to whistle itself. Cut through a lane and boom, there's Victoria herself, bronze scepter catching the sun so fiercely it could double as a signal mirror. Kids on scooters orbit her plinth, parents negotiate ice cream versus dental bills. Spoiler, ice cream wins. Across the way, Rubislaw's tower clock chimes too, the sound soft and apologetic, like the city's clearing its throat. Sorry, perfect days do have to end eventually. The granite here is almost white, older stone from before the railways hauled in darker rock. Plaque tells the whole story in two modest lines, the masonry equivalent of a shrug. Double back, duck through an arch so small you could miss it texting. Inside, 3 benches, a rosebed glowing peach sherbet, and a back wall that's hoarding the sun's warmth. Someone's left a thermos and 2 mugs, borrow a cup, pay it forward taped to the lid. The roses smell like a memory you can't place. A bee the size of a jelly bean works overtime. I sit, pour half a mug, and watch the city shrink to this one sun-trapped square. We swing towards the city center, and the leafy grandeur gives way to the bustle of Holborn Street. The vibe changes here. It's a major artery connecting the quiet residential West End to the city's heart, and the pace quickens. Traffic becomes a steady pulse, a mix of buses, cars, and cyclists navigating the junction. You see the city in motion, people with shopping bags, couriers on bikes, the general energetic hum of a main city road. The architecture shifts from detached villas to taller tenement blocks, still granite but built for a different purpose, closer to the city's commercial core. The drive funnels us onto the famous Granite Mile, Union Street, the beating heart of Aberdeen. It's a true canyon of granite, with impressive, historic buildings lining both sides. We pull over, stepping out of the car and into the full energy of the city. The street is a mix of high street shops and local businesses. We duck into a small cafe, and the noise of the street softens to a distant hum. The smell of freshly ground coffee and baked goods takes over. We grab a table by the window, watching the city go by, a perfect vantage point to soak in the impossible sunshine. The clink of ceramic and the low murmur of conversation feels like the perfect end to our drive. This perfect day is winding down, but our tour of Aberdeenshire is just getting started. Next week, we shall be covering the West Hill area of Aberdeen, so remember to turn on notifications for that. For now, enjoy the rest of the video clips that did not make it into the main cut. Let us know in the comments where you are watching from. As the sun dips lower, turning the granite to warm toffee, it's clear. O'Day the city didn't just shine, it laughed out loud.
you.